Tonight, journalists and politicians get together at the nation's capital to poke fun at each other in front of a room of their peers. Comedian Roy Wood Jr., a correspondent on The Daily Show, is the headliner for this year's event. President Biden is expected to talk about Americans detained overseas during his appearance. Correspondent Evan Moon is live across the street from the Washington Hilton with a look at the dinner's history. Good evening, Evan.
Good evening. It's been a big week full of exclusive events in Washington, D.C., all concluding tonight with the White House Correspondents' Dinner. We've seen Hollywood stars, politicians, and journalists all entering the building behind me to celebrate the First Amendment and have a little fun. But here's a look back at some of the history and highlights from years past.
Look at this room. Everyone is here tonight. We've got politicians, we've got the media, we've got celebrities.
Comedian Trevor Noah headlined last year's White House Correspondents' Dinner, where he poked fun at President Biden, former President Trump, other politicians, and the media.
This is truly the golden era of conspiracy theories, whether it's the right wing believing Trump can still win the 2020 election, or the left believing Joe Biden can still win the 2024 election.
The White House Correspondents Association started in 1914 in an effort to keep President Woodrow Wilson engaged in press conferences with reporters. Today, it's become an organization of journalists who work to maintain transparency between the White House and the American people.
We are there asking these questions, that the White House doesn't always like, on behalf of the American people. We are there as representatives of the American people.
The first White House Correspondents' Dinner took place in 1921, formed by a group of 50 white men.
When this dinner started out, it was a private club, basically, a private dinner with journalists and the president. And guess what? Women were not allowed to attend, or later the wives could watch from a balcony or something.
Over 100 years later, it's the association's largest fundraiser of the year, raising money for scholarships and honoring journalists and the First Amendment.
This dinner has come a long way. There is no doubt that the White House Correspondents Association has a history of being exclusionary. But we have moved well past that, including by honoring some of the very people who were excluded early on, by naming awards after them and scholarships.
Today, presidents let loose, poking fun at themselves and others in attendance.
The very first president to attend the White House Correspondents' Dinner was Calvin Coolidge in 1924. I'd just been elected to the United States Senate.
Jay Leno's here. Together, we give hope to gray-haired, chunky baby boomers everywhere.
I was going to start off tonight telling some self-deprecating jokes, but then I couldn't think of any mistakes I had made to be self-deprecating about.
It has even been suggested that Donald Trump was inspired to run after Seth Meyers joked about his candidacy back in 2011.
Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke.
Tonight, Daily Show correspondent Roy Wood Jr. will headline, where he will undoubtedly address President Biden's bid to run again in 2024, as well as roast many members of the media.
We are written into the Constitution. We are in the fabric of American democracy. Even though everybody loves to hate this dinner, it is a really big platform to hold up the importance of a free and independent press.
And this year, we'll focus specifically on journalists detained abroad, focusing on Austin Tice. He was detained in Syria over a decade ago, and more recently, the Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich. Their families will be in attendance tonight, and Biden is set to take the stage at any moment. Kelly.
All right, Evan Moon in Washington, thank you.